Welcome back to Income Trading 101. Today is Tuesday, March the 9th, 2021. We're going to take a look at Visa, one of the main credit card processors. And as you can see, this company has had quite the run from sub $20 back in 2011 all the way to 220 something dollars here 10 years later in 2021. That's nice. You see as well, given the various blue. Actually, I'm not even familiar what that one is. Oh, it's split. But you see the various blue and red. All these blue circles are an indication of a dividend paid. So this is a dividend paying stock as well, which always helps for a little bit of additional yield in addition to the growth possibilities or capacity in the stock. So I'm just going to expand this all the way back to the run that it's had really since it bottomed during the pandemic time and the pullback of that period. So let's look at Visa and see how our indicators line up against Visa and see whether this is saying a buy, a hold, what trade is possible right now. So start off with our moving averages. As usual, I'm going to use my standard 10, 20, and 60-day format to analyze this. My 10-day, my shorter term is always going to be my buy signal. My longer term is going to be my sell. When the sell signal is higher than the buy, that typically is an indication that it's a good time to short the market or close positions. So that's why I put that in red. And then our 60-day in this period, it's going to be the yellow line. So you can see that rather than just purely trending up or down, it's spent a lot of the year kind of going sideways, which is why the 10 and the 20 were so close to each other for most of the year. And even the 60, like back here in October, all three moving averages are very similar. Right now, however, we do have a nice upward trend. You now have the 10-day higher than the 20, which is higher than the 60. So all three moving averages are in line. So this could actually could end up being a rally in Visa. So let's take this to a lower time frame and see if there might be something a little different. So at the lower time frame, we still have all three moving averages in line or in order rather, but we do see the 10 period pulling back a little bit. And what's interesting is that we're seeing this current price really act as support. The question is it going to be support ongoing? We'll get into some of that a little bit later. When we take a look at when we go past Fibonacci and whatnot. Of course, well, look at this in the 30-minute. They have the 10 actually came inside of the 20. So at the 30-minute level, these are not all in line. And I imagine the 15 will be the same. And that's true. With the 15-minute, you've got the 20 above the 10, but the 60 is still below. So that's not necessarily a buy or a sell signal to me. When the moving averages are sort of congested like that, that's a good period to say, hey, what are we looking at? Where's support? We need more information. But if we get that justification, are we going to buy or sell? That is it for the moving averages. Let's take a look at the MACD. And I think the MACD might actually give us a little bit of indication here too. Even though this was a largely sideways channel market for much of the year, it'll be interesting to see if the MACD has pulled out and given any suggestion just yet. So look at that. It actually has, even on the daily, been rather volatile from this crossover in the overbought period to a crossover in the oversold. It's sort of tracked with the volatility, the changing direction of the market. So right now we still appear to be in a buy signal on the MACD for the daily. Let's take it down to the 1 hour. 1 hour has a little crossover action. Remember, this is this indicator. Any of the indicators that use moving averages are lagging, and that means that one new day of data could completely change the entire scope and slope of these indicators of the moving averages. So that's not a clear sell or buy right now. Let's look at the 30-minute and see if there's anything there. At the 30-minute, we did have yesterday, we had a crossover that would have led to a selling of the market. And we'll see if it's going to pull higher if this uptrend continues. And I would imagine the 15-minute is very similar as well. And wow, in the 15-minute, we actually have the MACD and the signal line. The MACD line has crossed the 0 line, and the signal line appears like it's going to cross as well, which would be an indication of a sell signal. But just know that 1 or 2 more bars will change the entire scope of this. So let's kick out of this, and we're going to shrink all of this again just for some more information. Let's see if there is a retracement that is worth taking a look at overall. I would take this sort of the lows of last October and drag them higher, to create my Fibonacci. But I do think, let's see, we're going to take this back to the daily. That's why I'm not able to get more information. I don't want to take the whole daily either. All of these, this large time frame, it would be possible to not get that much. So because this is all just pretty much a nice continuous uptrend, although there is this period in here where that was a sideways channel, it's kind of hard to analyze. But let's go from here, this bottom, and just look at the retracement that we got from peak in the bottom in March to this top in September. So this pullback actually pulled back just shy of the 50% level. It did go below the 38.2%. And if I were to take then, like it's hard. Sometimes you end up just reaching, and I don't want to reach for any validity of this analysis. I think right now these companies, or this company in particular, is not in a retracement mode. It actually appears to be in a continuation of all-time highs and going higher. So let's just take a look at some sideways channels, or some channels in general, and see if there's anything for us to view. And you guys know I really love, sort of sideways channels like this, because it gives you a good sense of what's going on and where might there be some opportunity as well. So let me close that. I'm going to extend this. How fun. Wow. How about that? If I expand this even a little, well, actually I wanted to keep it lower, just to keep. So what's interesting is this channel, you would have expected to be finished back in July, but when you extend it all the way out, right, we still caught this low. It still caught this low back in late January. And it's really not too far off playing resistance here in early February, and also playing a little support action here in this past week. So quite amazing. Yeah. That's wild. I love when I see things like that and charts like this because, it just makes you wonder, or realize like there's some validity in this style and this type of what do you call it? This type of analysis, because there's always a question of whether or not fundamental analysis is more important than technical analysis. And I've always had a thing for technical analysis, and this, just seeing these videos is it's hard to be convinced otherwise. So that to me looks like an ongoing, like this was an important level. What I also like, let's go ahead and get rid of these just to clear it up a little bit. I also like, let me try and just draw a line, see what that looks like. There is a line that, let me drop this down to the lower part. If I get it there, you've got support in November. You've got support in December, support in January 23rd, blew through it, resistance here, support. So that's really interesting to me because that lets me know that above this line, for the most part, it's acted as support, pushing this thing higher. So good to know. My last channel that I'm going to draw is this current uptrend that we appear to be going into. And I just want to get a better sense of what might actually be. So there you have it. If this thing continues at its trajectory, expect to see newer highs upwards of 227, 230. And I think we could do that. I mean, this is definitely is going to have a nice correlation to the overall economy, because as people earn more, businesses earn more and pay out their employees, they're going to be spending. And during COVID, so many places are not accepting cash. So I can only imagine that it's been a good period for payment processors like Visa. So that's more fundamental than technical. But, when it comes to trading these patterns, when it comes to trading, I'm not a one-dimensional trader. I like using multiple indicators when I'm using technical analysis. I also like to take into account any information that I have, any fundamental information I have on the company, like, oh, they pay a dividend, that dividend rate's been growing. Oh, they've tended to outperform earnings this time of the year in the past, and looks like they've continued. Like, those are not technical pieces that we will cover on this channel, but they still can play a significant role in making sure that you are profitable. So keep learning, keep focusing on getting better at the markets. Thank you so much for watching these videos. Definitely hit the like button if you like this video and found it useful. Also, if you would, subscribe to the channel. I make videos like this every day, and I would love to continue to share them with people like you. So that's it. Have a wonderful day. Happy trading.